Hello, Livestream Legends! Hello, and welcome to another episode of Livestream Legends. Today we are tackling community building. Whether you are a streamer already, you're thinking about getting started, or you are already a creator or entrepreneur of some kind, we're going to be exploring creative ways to build a loyal community. So everybody that's hopping in here today, Thomas, welcome to the party. We are live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, all thanks to Restream. This entire show is powered by Restream, so big thank you to these guys as they've been supporting my journey as well as all of yours as well. So today we do have a interesting topic on deck. We're going to be chatting about community building for entrepreneurs. This is what we're going to be tapping into. A lot of people are discovering live streaming as a medium to explore, but the community building piece, or getting people to actually arrive and show up on stream, is a critical piece of the puzzle to figure out where people can hang out with one another when you're not streaming. And this is one of the most powerful things you can do with media, with your own show, your own podcast, is to turn it into a platform for others to connect. So that's the game plan here today. Appreciate you guys jumping in. Let me know where you're coming in from, and if you have any questions throughout the experience or throughout the show, we will go ahead and just tackle them in real time. This is a journey. This is a conversation where we are in this together. So I'm sharing this journey with y'all, and y'all are sharing this journey with me, and I'm super grateful for it. So appreciate all you guys hopping in here. Good to see you, Joey. And yeah, we'll let the room fill up here pretty quickly, but we're about to jump into what is the setup for building out a community. There's dozens of ways that you can tap into this. And it's really about finding your style. Very similar to how in prior streams, we've tapped into the concept of finding your stream style. Community building is going to be operate in a very similar way. Of course, there are best practices. There are things to tap into, but for the most part, you're gonna need to customize it and custom tailor that community building system to your audience, and as well as your media. Good to see you in here, Luke. Appreciate you hopping in here, brother. We are good to get started. So I'm just going to go ahead and start rolling through this presentation to share the secret sauce. So this is for streamers, for podcasters, for entrepreneurs, anybody that would benefit from having a thriving and loyal community, is something that you can use in so many contexts. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. This is the secret sauce. I got the secret formula, y'all. We're gonna be going over these three pieces. These are the key pieces of a thriving community. We're gonna need to merge common goals and interests. This is one of the most powerful ways to connect people. After that, we're gonna set a platform or enable comfortable communication. Key word here being comfortable. You want to create an environment where people can communicate naturally in an organic way. You don't want to force things too much in this context. So this will be the last piece we're talking about, is how to set up your community as a platform rather than a product. Many people think of business and media in a very transactional sense, where they have a single finish line, and once somebody converts or sells or whatever, it's done. We don't want to think like that. We don't want to think like we're selling a product or creating a transaction. What's going to be far more powerful for your brand, for your community, for your service, for your show, is to build things out as a platform. So those are the three pieces we're going to be tapping into today. Appreciate you guys joining the adventure. So let's go ahead and get started here on the community goals and interests. This is a really critical piece of the puzzle that happens to a lot of people miss the mark by thinking they just need a vividly specific single goal, whether it's a personal goal or professional goal. A lot of communities do that, but what's really going to be the secret sauce here is combining personal interests or personal goals with professional interests and professional goals. A lot of times these are separated into different categories and different worlds. So the simplest way to start zeroing in on this is just combining two of these. So for my personal community, the Beast Node that we've been growing here, I combine personal interests with professional goals. And what this does is it enables people to cross over into worlds and connect with people that they resonate with. They're on a similar frequency, but you typically wouldn't expect to connect with one another if it was just like a business networking or sales event or something like that. What really cultivates loyal community is when you can merge those worlds. So we have lots of people with similar personal interests. This is people that are interested in art and music and film and creation. Lots of people with these personal interests. And what we've combined it with is professional goals. People that are leveling up their life, wanting to build a show, build a stream, build a podcast around their personal interests. And if you can merge these worlds, this is the sweet spot you want to be in. It's very easy to create a community out of just one of these. So combining them is going to give you this synergy effort where the combined portion is more valuable than the individual. So I'd like to walk you through this exercise. Consider what two of these you'd want to merge and see what that would look like for your world, combining personal interests with professional goals. Or it can be the opposite. People of a specific industry of professional interests, and they are accomplishing personal goals, weight loss or health type of stuff. This is what connects community, is a common goal, a common interest. I'm sure anybody here, let me know if you've been a part of a sports team or a really good professional team or department that you've been on that you just have a deep, strong connection with. Football teams, hockey teams that are all working towards a single goal. The bond that you get when you are working towards a similar or singular goal is so much stronger than anything else you could do in this world. So if you can unite people with that common goal, or occasionally a common enemy, is another something that you can do, is create a common enemy or something to take down. This is more of what nonprofit communities do. They have a common enemy or a social goal that they're trying to reach. So think about how that fits into your world, your interests, your community, and start brewing what is this sweet spot where you can combine personal and professional goals or interests. So hopefully that gives you guys a nice anchor point of where to start. You need clarity on people understanding where we're going and what the hell we're doing here. So the next piece of the puzzle, I see a lot of people jumping in here. So this is what we're going over here today, is common goals and interests. That's a key piece of community building. How to enable comfortable communication. And then this last piece, being a platform rather than a product. So welcome to everybody hopping in here. Good to see you, Usama. Appreciate you, brother. So yeah, we just went over combining personal goals and interests, and now to essentially open up the platform. How do humans relate? How do humans connect? Essentially, we communicate in different ways. Sometimes, once upon a time, it was with grunts and nonverbal communication. Then with words and everything in that realm leveled up. And now we have even more creative ways to communicate through video, through GIFs, through so many creative ways. And your job as a community builder and a community creator is to enable a platform for people to be comfortable communicating in a similar way that they already would. So the actual piece of this is a very wide spectrum of where you can go with this. But really the goal is comfortable communication. You want people to feel natural. Think about the best times you've connected with other people. Are you the type of person that would rather be put on the spot in like an icebreaker, and they go, hey, stand up, tell everybody in the room what you do, what you need to do? Like, I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, that is a nightmare. That's nothing. I don't communicate normally. I sound like a robot. There's just nothing valuable that comes out of that. So if you can create the organic situation of you communicating with your audience, or even better, your audience communicating with one another, that's the sweet spot where you want to get and make people comfortable in communicating and sharing their story, sharing their journey. From as little, I know a key piece in our community is sharing creations and updates, and when we got streams that are going live, we'll share that. It can be on the opposite too. We have a rant room where people can unleash their frustrations in a open, comfortable, organic way. So appreciate all you guys hopping in here. I see Don Trell, a new LinkedIn homie, has hopped in here. Good to see you, brother. Nick Lozano hanging with us over on Twitch. Thank you, sir. So yeah, these are the pieces we want to keep in mind when building that communication platform. You need to enable peer-to-peer. Stuff like a mailing list is great, but it's a street between you and the audience, and that's it. So one of the things you want to enable is peer-to-peer communication. Stay till the end, and I'll be sharing all of my advised tools and applications for this. But for now, just any way you can allow people to communicate with one another, rather than it just being me communicating outward. That's a big mistake a lot of creators do, is they just make it a one-way street, and there's nowhere for the community or peers to connect and communicate. So make sure that is a priority of your community. Another key piece is making sure that the environment is neutral or open-minded to share what the community wants to talk about. So in our case, the community that we're cultivating, it's lots of creatives and creators. So we've made an environment where it's natural to show up, post something, and get some open feedback from a team or group or family or cult, whatever we call it, of people that you trust. And you know they're not here to hurt you. They're not just trolls that are trying to take you down. Like if you posted something solely on social media that was a purely open forum, you can have a lot more hesitation than if you make a neutral or open environment. So this is another thing I'm really proud of seeing in our community is how open people are. Now, speaking of that openness and making people comfortable, you have to develop a welcoming experience, just like everybody else in the world and every other thing you've done. We humans naturally, we are judgmental creatures by nature. So you are going to have people that are making a judgment on your community, your show, your brand, based on their first impressions. So make that as welcoming of an experience as you can. Make it clear, make it inviting, and encourage people to move onward and continue to be a part of the journey. That's an absolutely necessary piece, is to make sure it's a welcoming experience. And then this last piece, there may be a little bit of debate here on what is the appropriate amount of moderation and control. With any community of any size, there is always going to be some growing pains, some internal conflict, all kinds of things like that that shape the community and its trajectory. So one of the pieces of this puzzle is moderation, and many people can that you've seen this in channels where they are very, very strict about what you can say, what you can't say. I personally advise moderating as modestly as possible, doing the least amount of moderation necessary. Now, that's not saying like just let everything roll, go complete anarchy style. That might not be the best game plan. But if there's a way that you can get ahead of potential problems or potential conflict within your community, this is something that will pay dividends in the future, in the long run. The earlier you can get ahead of that. So one of the most effective ways for moderating modestly is enabling people from your community, your most loyal supporters, the people that have been there the longest, to level up into a moderation role or a moderation tier of some sort. And what you'll see is you'll start seeing this self-governing type of vibe that starts to kick in. And if the right people are in place and you're setting the right tone, it sets you up for success without requiring a ton of internal time and energy from you specifically. So let's go ahead and tap into now the third piece of this puzzle, which I've been considering this phrase, be a platform, not a product. This is a theory I've really pursued ever since the on-rise of Fortnite. Believe it or not, I actually have learned a ton of lessons from that silly, crazy, cartoony game. And I'm sure many of you here, whether you're even aware of it or not, or have played it, you know of Fortnite. You've heard it, you've seen it somewhere. It's taken over the world as far as its community. And one of the things they've done is be a platform rather than a product. So they could have charged $19.99 for their game, made people download it and buy it, and that was the end of the transaction. But what Fortnite has done, and many other games and online ventures are doing, is they enable the game to be accessible for free And then they incentivize so many other things. So you can come and join the community for free. You can be a part of the community for free. You can submit to competitions and win massive prizes. They set up multi-million-dollar tournaments and prizes that people want to change their life because of that platform. And this is something I'm really focusing on, rather than just providing a single service. Here, do you want to be a live streamer? Here's your service. Here's your coaching hours or consulting hours. And ending it there, you can get so much more mileage and so much more energy from your community if you bring your brand to be a platform rather than only just a product that's a single purchase. So enabling others to connect and collaborate, this is another peer-to-peer piece. You guys should probably be seeing a recurring theme here. This peer-to-peer piece is absolutely vital for a community, and many people are missing it. So the alternative piece of this is encouraging others towards progress or growth or goals of some sort. It's great to have common interests in general, but if you can continuously push people forward towards similar goals, and that's the tone you're setting, your brand now can become a platform where I've seen some of the brilliant people in our community that are now streamers. They're becoming live streamers because of our platform, because of our community. They're stepping into a better version of themselves because of this. So definitely want to make sure any opportunities you have to do that are pursued and set up. And now, number 3. Let's jump into this. I briefly just mentioned a good example of this, of Fortnite providing high level, like multi-million-dollar prizes. Obviously, you don't have to be at that level or budget, but you can duplicate the same formula and the same system. So rewarding and incentivizing positive behaviors are a massive win in this category, especially if you're in the earlier stages of growing a community. You want to incentivize positive behaviors. So this is stuff like when people support or share or promote the show on your behalf. Make sure that's rewarded or incentivized. Have specific competitions or challenges with rewards that if people are working towards the goal or supporting your community, make sure that does not go unnoticed. Even if it's the most simple, just drop in a quick little DM or a voice message to say, thank you, we appreciate your support, it's noticed. Little stuff like that can go so far when it's set up. And it's really just a critical piece that so many people miss. We're humans. We're conditioned to continuously do things we enjoy. If we receive positive feedback, we do more of that. If we do something and receive negative feedback or no feedback, it's likely we are not going to do that anymore. So just remember that and be as mindful as possible. So that's really another key piece here, to just make sure the appropriate things are all coming together. So those were the 3 pieces we wanted to tap into at the moment. I see everybody rocking and rolling with us. Timothy, David, good to see you. Nick Lozano still chilling on Twitch. Drew Peniton and Sean, thank you guys so much. They're dropping some examples of what to do. I'm gonna hop into the Q&A here at the end, but let's go ahead and continue with this community building strategies and systems. So let's keep it rolling onward into the next chapter here, which is setting the vibe. You similar way of how like a social group or like a clique of friends works. There's usually a few key people that set the vibe, and think of this like your personality. Very unlikely, if there's people that you just literally don't get along with, that you're gonna hang out with them very often. So when you're setting the tone of your community, you want it to be aligned with yourself, your audience, and your goals that we were mentioning there at the beginning. Now, this is a little bit of a personal example of our community here, the vibe that we've tapped into. We enjoy having fun. We love having fun in creative ways. We play with one another. We drop jokes and memes and GIFs all the time. It's a significant portion of us, and people are attracted to that. However, we are still fairly professional. Many of us are mid and high level executives, content creators, or early stage entrepreneurs as well. So we do have a professional vibe in our community as well that integrates well with the other two pieces here. And you'll see this last piece of being creative. This is where we are all in. Like, if I could choose any one feature to filter people by, is I would want creative people of any kind. Drew is very familiar with how professional our community is. So this is just an example. Again, this is not something to duplicate. This is something to adjust for your community. And people that are on this same vibe and on a similar frequency are gonna resonate with this. Whereas people that typically don't have a lot of fun and want to keep it purely professional, they just want to have like mastermind groups and back end like meetings and like high level sales chats or sales calls, they're probably not going to resonate very well with our community. So just be clear about what that vibe is, be intentional about it, and really set up the tone for other people to duplicate and replicate and amplify that same exact tone. So again, these are adjustable, and this is what I'm trying to emphasize here is making it customized to your audience. So I see a lot of people here, not surprisingly, Nick, Luke, Sean, some of these guys that are in our community saying, oh my God, I hate meetings. I can't stand meetings. And this is literally a perfect example of what exactly is going to be a fit. If we were having a weekly group mastermind, level up your LinkedIn sales thing, like, maybe these guys wouldn't be hanging out with me and hanging out with us because they're not part of that vibe. So this is a key piece just to keep in mind. There's no one right answer. If you love meetings and professional oriented content, like, go for that. Go for it. Set the tone that way, and you'll have people that are attracted to that same vibe. Just make it clear and make it intentional. So that's one of the key pieces here before moving into the system, is remember to be intentional about how you set the vibe. All right, now this is gonna get a little tricky here before it gets overwhelming, but what we're gonna talk about is how to systemize your growth. We were talking about how to think of your community or your brand as a platform rather than a product. A product is typically a single transaction that kind of ends there, and nothing really happens after that. And what I want to emphasize here is the flywheel effect of a well-cultivated community. So in its perfect form, you'll be able to transfer and convert people from strangers into fans of your stream or fans of your show, and from fans into legit, genuine, direct friends like Luke right here hanging out with us, Sean, Jackie, Ronan, all of you guys. Like, these are my friends asking for pizza. Maybe I should have added a giveaway to this. Take some of my own medicine of incentivizing positive behavior. So this is something that you want to keep in mind, of a continuous adventure. And I'm going to offer some options here for how to continuously grow your community and keep moving people onward and deeper into your world, until eventually they just are literally just feel like homies, and you have just like this, the same way you feel about some of your best friends, is how a thriving community should feel. It shouldn't feel like a mailing list or a sales call or something like that. It should be a true, deep, genuine connection. So let's tap into this, these three mediums here of how to really move people in your world and continually keep leveling them up in creative ways. So I've shared these examples here at the bottom for what my system is. Again, this is not best practices. This is what I use for myself, and this can definitely be adjusted to your world. So essentially, we have the surface level micro content. This is anything on social media, very, very basic surface level posts that people are just vaguely familiar with you. But they at least know your name or recognize your face. Now, the goal from that is to convert them to at least one stream or one show of yours. Once they get pulled into your show or into your stream, they start to become a piece of your world. They start to be, they recognize you. They know your dog, what your dogs look like when they come in the room. This type of connection you can't get with micro content. So use your show or your media as a platform to keep pulling people a little deeper into your world. And once you have people more familiar with your show, they're coming back, it's entertaining, they're having a good time, that's when you pull people to a community of some sort. So in this example, the communities tools that I use are a mailing list and the Discord platform. Again, I hope you guys stay till the end. I'll be sharing all the best apps and tools and platforms you can use here. But for me personally, this is what's working for this community element. And you've got to realize that takes time. People don't just jump from a complete stranger to a raving fan overnight. It doesn't happen like that. So this process can take days or weeks or months sometimes as people get pulled in this cycle. So no matter where anybody's at, you want to continuously keep pushing them to the right. So a very large portion of you guys here, I know there's a lot of LinkedIn homies here, are kind of stuck in this circle here. They have micro content and they can kind of get people to the show, but then they have to kind of start over again. What you really want to be doing is pushing people forward as often as possible. Even though this is cyclical, there is a linear progress that you want to keep pushing people towards. So for me personally, this is my setup. I use the micro content to attract any attention at all. I try to pull people into the shows and the streams. Now they're familiar with me, my world, what I do, what I'm like. It's very difficult to fake these. I can do like a couple minutes of like the fake it till you make it, but for the most part, this is me just shredding through here with social anxiety, trying to teach you guys what I've learned. So this last piece is converting people into your offer. So you are way, way, way more likely to see the business results and the ROI from your show or your media assets when you have a community being cultivated. It's a lot more difficult to go from this stage all the way to a conversion without these middle grounds. So please do. Drew says, I feel converted. I'm pulling y'all deeper and deeper into the world. So this is literally an example of the direct support that I'm getting here. So thank you. I see Jackie dropping some support over on the Twitch side. Thank you so much as we're running through this. Okay. So let's briefly just recap what this system looks like and how you can utilize it. These are cyclical stages. So the key piece of the puzzle here is converting individuals further down the road, just deeper into your world. I guess maybe converting isn't the best community word, but you just want to be pulling people deeper into your realm and having that platform and that ability to connect with others. So my system is using LinkedIn for this high-level stranger content, using the Beast Node and Feel Good Friday and some of our shows as the media assets that really give you a core offering of what exactly is what's going on here, what's the vibe. And from there, you pull people to your community, in our case, Discord or mailing list. And the offerings I have currently, this is just now coming together, is done for you productions. If people just want productions done for you, or what's opening up now is a Beast Camp where we are teaching people these systems and these strategies to become a content creator. So make sure it's a relevant offer for what your community is doing, for what your show is about. If you have all of those aligned, you can start having this compounding element that really adds up over time. So amazing to see so many people supporting. I do not have any of the Twitch alerts set up for these educational shows, but I love you guys so much for the support. We will stay tuned, DJ, for that. Would love to have you as part of our journey here. So let's go ahead, and I just want to clarify one last piece of this before we jump out of the systems here, is these cyclical elements. If you're doing them right, you can continuously be growing your efforts while all of your prior efforts have a compounding element. So for me personally, I am starting to use these streams and these shows as the micro content to feed into here. So you can start seeing how this equation of continuous shows and content can build that front of funnel audience continuously while still nudging people forward. You don't want to always have the same 5 people there, the same local band always has the same 5 groupies and supporters. They're amazing. You want that core group of supporters, but you do want to be having new people being pulled into the world. So this is a key point of everything. So last piece of this is really understanding how to send people into a community. So this piece we were just mentioning here, this third stage of cultivating a community, is what we're tapping into on this next slide here. So if you were curious what to fill for this third stage, here are the options that we can consider based on your audience. The most obvious that you're most likely familiar with is the social media groups. This is Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, insert whatever other groups. These social media platforms have the ability to create digital group that people can join, or you can invite. Oftentimes they have moderation abilities. These are a great option that is very accessible, but you don't own the audience. So this is a key piece I learned back in the MySpace days, is always trying to cultivate an audience on assets that you truly own. It's very difficult to control a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group if for whatever reason the company was acquired or they shut down. That's a big piece of the puzzle that you have to consider. But in the right context, Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, brilliant way to cultivate community, and all of those future things. So if that seems to fit for your community, let me know, or let there's always an option for you. So I'm always open to help if you're stuck on what's a good fit, what's not. So yeah, consider those first, because it's very likely your audience is already existing on those platforms and they're already familiar with those platforms and how they work and how to moderate and all of that stuff. So this is the path of least resistance, but not a ton of long-term ROI. But this is something that's popping up now too, is communication tools. Again, a lot of this technology and these tools are completely agnostic. Once upon a time, Discord was only for playing video games together. Slack was only for sharing text messages and chat channels with professional teams. And there's so many creative ways that you can start utilizing these tools rather than just accepting what you think is the default option. I see Nice Boy Japoy jumping in here, multi-streaming. Nice, brother. We are on the same page, doing the exact same thing over here, thanks to Restream. Good to see you, and all of our community chatter going on over on the Twitch. We will keep you in the loop with what updates are incoming for that. So let's keep this going as far as the community tools and apps. So I see a lot of people are just now jumping in here, seeing what's going on. We are essentially going over this stage of the community growth system and process of what tools or apps you can use to grow your community. And this is my absolute favorite secret sauce that I think many more people are going to start utilizing in the future, the Discord app. This tool is like a combination of old school chat rooms, very similar to what like Slack is doing, Zoom video rooms, voice and video rooms, and also now there's audio only stages that you can set up, very similar to Clubhouse. So for me right now, Discord has absolutely been my favorite community building tool. But beware, this is another thing you don't technically own. They have to be on the Discord app, join your server, and you can't take that list anywhere. Unlike these other two things. So I always am suggesting a hybrid theory of shared media, which is platforms like this, and wholly owned assets. So when you get down to this category of lists to collect people, this is probably the most plain Jane vanilla that we see when it comes to building a business or e-commerce or any type of brand, is putting together an email list. Now, this is still absolutely vital. I know it sounds very 90s, 2000s like, but email's still alive. It's still valuable. And when it's used properly can be an absolutely massive asset to your community, your brand, and your business especially. Email is still one of the most highest converting mediums for business transactions and business type of conversations. So do not be scared to continue building an email list while growing a Discord. That is currently my strategy, is these two set up back to back. But again, everything I'm sharing today is just about what works for you. I'm sharing what my system is, but please customize this and cater it to what your audience and your community needs. So the last piece of this is actually becoming super popular is SMS and text groups. We are attached to our little mobile devices here 24/7, it seems like, and you can now use these to your advantage with text groups or stuff like WhatsApp. You can make creator groups to essentially keep people all in the same bubble. Again, all of this is about peer-to-peer communication, open and neutral environments. These are all key pieces of the puzzle that you want to make sure are accommodated. So those are my recommendations here. If you have any other suggestions, please do drop them in the chat. I know we do have a lot of other creators and creative people here in the mix with us. Feel free to share your insights and advice or questions. We are wrapping up the show here. We're well over the 30-minute mark. Oh man, you guys, in my head, I plan that these are going to be like 30 minutes. And I don't think we've had a single 30-minute episode ever. So, big thank you to Restream. Appreciate your support so much. We are live on all platforms thanks to Restream. My life 100% has changed since discovering the streaming medium. I tried to do the recorded video thing for a long time and it was not my style, but discovering live streaming and discovering these real-time creation strategies and creative strategies has been a game changer for me. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please jump in the link in this description and get started with Restream. That referral link will hook up a little bit of love for me, as well as a discount for you if you want to. It's free to get started, doesn't matter. But if you want to upgrade to the paid plan, it'll hook you up with a nice little discount. So please hook that up, and also drop any questions you have in the chat. I'm here to just share this journey with y'all. So if you have any questions right now, happy to jump into it. Or even better, this might be a little more relevant. If you want to join our community, jump into our Discord. We have the most brilliant creators and creative people available 24/7. So when I'm not on stream or none of us are on stream, there's still people to connect with and keep the vibe going. So I see Nick just activated the secret Discord link in the Twitch. So if you're on the Twitch side, please do jump in there. I know many of you already are, as well as everybody over on LinkedIn. I appreciate you guys so much. Valerie jumping in here, Dontrell still rocking and rolling, and Saad still hanging with us. Appreciate you guys jumping in here. I'm gonna drop the Discord link if you are curious for what a Discord community can look like and how you can set it up. This is something I'm continuously experimenting with and optimizing. So appreciate you guys sharing this journey. I will go back to this primary piece here at the beginning for Valerie and some of us jumping in here. These are the 3 key pieces that you need to build a community. We went over clarifying common goals and interests. Very similar to how sports teams and coworkers that go through a really rough or intense project, they have this bond that you just can't get from a casual connection. So if you have common goals and interests combined, you're going to be in a brilliant spot for your community. Opening up comfortable communication, just enabling peer-to-peer communication where people can be themselves. They don't have to put on this face of, hey, what's up, guys? I'm doing this and doing that and got 1 million downloads here and there. Like, you just want people to be in their natural environment. That's a true community. And then this last piece is thinking of your brand as a platform rather than a product. So that's essentially just zeroing in on the theory and the concept of using your brand and your platform, your community, your resources to help others grow. If you're able to do that, it becomes an infectious vibe that people just cannot get enough of. They bring other people to it, and in turn, it grows your community as well. So this has been my random batch of insights that I've learned over the last year or so from community building in the streaming world and the prior decade in the digital world. I've been doing this since the MySpace days in so many ways on Tumblr. I've done all of the mailing lists, done Facebook groups. It's all just about catering to your specific audience with laser focused precision. So yeah, as you can tell, the theme here is focusing on others. I think, not surprisingly here, the sign of a thriving community is what they do when you're not participating. And that's one of the most amazing things when you have a truly thriving community, is other people helping each other while you're not even a part of it anymore. So that's the ultimate goal of where to try and reach things. But if you have any other advice or any other questions, please join us in our Discord. We'd love to have you if you'd like to see what other content creators and podcasters and artists and all of that, how they're integrating their world and their business is an amazing thing. No V-neck today, DJ. It was actually a little chilly. I wore this little, like, I don't even know what it is, sweater shirt thing. But yeah, no. So yeah, I don't know why we are getting into that, but that is a good sign for the end of the show. Is we have ran out of streaming questions and we are now into community attire. But there it is. If you have a thriving community, they will recognize the very first day you don't wear a V-neck, which is today. So well played. Appreciate all you guys hanging. This is the end of the line for this episode, but this is not the end of the line of the journey. Please jump into our Discord. Please get started on Restream, and reach out to me in any way you ever need to support your journey. I'd love to be a part of it. So that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for joining another episode of Livestream Legends. We will catch you next week for another episode, another special episode incoming. We'll keep you in tune with that coming soon. Take care, y'all, and happy Thursday.